Welcome back everyone, it's Blue Inferno here, and in today's video I wanted to answer the question, should Arena be added to Dark and Darker? And if so, why? After seeing other content creators' reactions and thoughts on Arena, as well as playing it as much as I could over the few days it was out, I made the realization that for most of us, it was everything that we wanted from the game. You could still get loot, could keep your perfect kit even if you lost the match, find your enemies easily, and you didn't have to spend near as much time in the tavern selling loot and buying supplies. It's just a purely distilled version of the Dark and Darker experience for me. Exactly what all game devs aspire to make their games. So with all the dungeons and bosses and quests and the rest of the game, did Iron Mace make the wrong game? So while I was playing back-to-back matches, having an absolute blast, letting the thought that this really is all that I want to do take hold, I had an exciting idea that I needed a couple of different pieces for my kit, a doublet and adventure boots to be specific. So I combed my inventory and I didn't have any good pairs that I had found, so I didn't have the found in raid status. So I calculated that the Frost Caverns would likely have the least players in my way to interrupt me finding it, and I'd have to go to High Roller to find any loot that'd be a best fit. So I greedily plundered into the dungeon using all of my previous game knowledge and dungeoneering skills to quickly find the pieces that I needed. I found them both on the 4th raid and quickly jumped on the raft, and out of nowhere, a wizard popped over the ledge and killed me with 2 fireballs. I was pissed off to say the least. And once back in the lobby, I looked at the arena queue all fired up, then just got kitted back up and went straight back into Frost Caverns to get the prize I set out to find. Then it dawned on me. I have over 1,500 hours in this game across all the playtests and now the early access, and it's easily been hundreds of hours since I really gave a second thought about what I exactly found in the chest, aside from its gold value, just so I could optimize the economy of running more matches in my preferred loadout for the lowest cost. And it was Arena, the game mode that offers an environment where gold found in raid isn't the priority. The kit that I build can be truly perfect, and I do not need to sell amazing pieces of gear so that I can have a handful of mediocre pieces and get more runs. In short, it actually inspired me to care about the dungeon delving experience again by offering me something to do with the rewards that could continue beyond the small handful of dungeon delves I'd get out of it. Now, as a hardcore casual player, meaning I take my time playing the game seriously, even though I don't have much time to offer the game, I do my best to optimize what little time I have to play. And in a full loot game where your performance is heavily impacted by what loot you have, it means that optimization becomes the heart of the experience over time. If I have 5 to 20 hours to play over the week, and I can never guarantee how much time I'm going to have, I have to prepare for too many variables to risk using extremely good pieces of kit that could be better be sold so I could get more kits. And considering I may have to step away for a week at a time and come back and try to catch back up to the players who never stopped, that means that I need to build as many pre-made kits in case I need to knock the rust back off and get back up to speed. And that type of gaming fatigue was draining a lot of the fun out of the game for me. The less time you have, the more you value it. And I want my time to play games and have fun to be the most fun it can be. And Arena offers a stage for my cumulative efforts to build throughout the progression of the season. I might have missed a couple of weeks, but that just means that I can come back, have some quests to accomplish in normals, then I need to farm a couple of mats to try to add to my previous progression. And for me personally, that's a huge win for the game design. There is also another hidden advantage to Arena that will also benefit less PvP-oriented players. I noticed this while grinding gear in High Roller Ice Caverns, and that is that all of the PvP-focused players were already elbow deep in gore in the arena. It was far more quiet in the dungeon, with less player hunters and more PvE and loot-focused gamers getting a less hostile dungeon overall. Now, for a PvP-focused player, there's nothing more game-killing than an empty lobby. But on the other side of the coin, for a PvE player, there's nothing that's going to kill the game faster for them than never getting to experience the content. It's something that I had all but given up on, was the chance to fight the high roller bosses. I've tried so many times, but a third of the time you lose because you're learning the ins and outs of the high roller boss himself. Another third of the time you can't even try the boss you want because they never spawned, or things just went tits up during the delve. And the last third of the time you get folded up by a team that lives, breathes, and eats nothing but Dark and Darker high-end PvP, and they just crush the living hell out of you. And many players just can't attempt very many high roller runs like that over the course of the season. But while Arena is active, the sweatiest of the sweaty, the people who made a job out of ruining lobbies, and those that have grown so bored of the advanced PvE that only the screams of other players can make them feel anything in their soul again. They're all busy, killing the hell out of each other, and that can be a good thing. Giving a short-lived grace period where the dungeons become less perilous. There will still be danger in the dungeon, but bringing it down to a more manageable level for a little while, I think it's going to increase the retention rate of the less PvP-focused players overall. And it made the game feel kinda like an MMO in a way, where the presence and the location of a group or a sect of players was actually known, and now players could make an informed decision to move to other places of the world and I thought that was pretty cool. And don't get me wrong, I live for the PvP, and like I said at the beginning, Arena offers the blood-soaked battlefield I've been looking for, and I don't think the base game should change. I'm simply pointing out my observation that Arena can serve not just the PvP players, but also the PvE players, and I think that's really freaking cool, honestly. In closing, I believe that a good video game needs to be as clean and as focused and as closely tight to the main loop of what makes their game fun as possible. And as much like a movie where a scene should only be added if it can enhance the rest of the film before and after it, or cut completely if it contributes nothing else. I think Arena mode in Dark and Darker is the perfect scene. There's no other way in the standard game you can get the same experience as you get in Arena. It provides purpose and framing to the other activities in the dungeon by making me motivated to actually get into the dungeon to find specific things for myself. And it also provides an opportunity for the rest of the content to be transformed for the players that have no intention of playing the arena. Because of those reasons, I certainly believe that it belongs in Dark and Darker, and has awakened yet another aspect of the game that I'm really excited to see it grow and evolve. That's going to be all for today, everyone. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. And if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. It really goes a long way to help a small content creator like myself. Take care. Until next time. Peace.